What is happening?
Oh
my
God.
goodness. Oh,
Callie,
the pressure.
We're all grown up.
I mean, where are we, first of all?
We are at the Composers Room.
Oh my God.
The historic Composers Room in Commercial Center.
I mean, listen, we have the logo on the back. We have cocktails. And guess what, guys? This is a weekly thing for us. I mean, we're here, baby.
Oh my God.
This might be a bad idea for Composer's Room, but here we are. Here we are, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, cocktail time.
Okay. So, cheers, darling.
Cheers.
All right. Okay, so my cocktail is the Composer on the specialty cocktail menu.
And I got a French 75.
Yes, classic cocktail.
And it's delicious. How's yours?
Mine is delicious as well. Thank you.
Josh.
Thank you,
Josh over there.
Yeah.
Make sure you come and see him when you guys come, because why wouldn't you?
Right.
I mean, okay, so we're here. Let's get into the story of how we got our new home, because this is kind of wild. Jessica calls me up and goes, "Hey, you want to do a live show at the Composer's Room?" And then I go, "Yeah, I do. So,
here we are.
I
don't know how else to. I mean, thank you, Gary and Damien and everyone for giving us this opportunity. We were on internet radio for a number of years, and we made that switch into YouTube.
Yes, at the beginning of the year.
And we've been rebuilding and having some amazing guests.
Yeah, and like trying new things in different places. And I think our goal for the show was always to have a cute little set.
Yeah.
And here we are, guys. We're doing
it. It was so funny because we talked about making this setup in my tiny little living room. And so now we have one in front of people.
It's like, hello.
Yeah. Hello, world.
I mean, I'm just so excited because obviously the Composer's Room, they have shows all the time. I mean, truly shows all the time. So many people come through here, so many amazing talents, and the fact that we get to
so excited about Carlos Mencia on Sunday nights doing karaoke with David Nickel.
Yeah, and there's rumors that the stage we're on is too small for the karaoke.
Yes, I heard that rumor.
And it keeps growing, so I need to show up before it gets too big so I can get the good seats.
Absolutely.
Because that sounds like the best night of our lives. I mean, so yeah, every Sunday, 9 p.m. karaoke. But yeah, so here we are. This is going to be our new home. Jessica's apartment was great.
Yeah.
This is a little better.
Yeah, a little bit
more breathing room.
Yeah.
Real microphones.
I don't have to make the cocktails.
Yeah, I don't have to do the setup. I was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands.
What do we do now? What? This is all new for us.
So, yeah, we're really excited for what the future brings and all the fun people that are going to join the stage with us. And
we have so many plans, so many ideas, so many things happening, and
it's going to be so good.
This is very cool.
And listen, Calithia might make an entrance at some point.
And I hope Calithia makes an entrance.
One day. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
She's a very busy woman.
She's very busy.
Very busy. You know, she rented out actually the whole back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I need to get into my character. I rented out the whole back because no one wants to see a show with people next to you, especially one less than you. So you want to make sure that you buy all of the tickets for one night. I will say the person performing was very confused because they said I had a full house. And it was just me. It was just me, baby. But I made sure I was loud and obnoxious, like you're supposed to be at a show. And it was fantastic. It was just fantastic.
Totally fantastic.
Sorry.
Calithia.
Calithia just came out.
Calithia came out. It's fine.
She's haunting everyone right now. But let's just get into the show.
Okay,
here
let's
we go.
Get into
oh my
it. Let's
goodness,
get into it because this weekend was completely insane.
Well, let me just start off. Once again, Jessica with these revelations for me are wild. I'm not prepared.
I was not prepared.
Listen, you manifest everything right now. You're like, I want to have this. And then it happens. And then I want to do this. I want to go to London and see Taylor. And then you do it. And then I want to do this. And then it happens. And then Composer Room happens. And then, who did you see?
Oh my God. So this weekend, well, first of all, okay, so I went into work. Okay, so Friday afternoon, we were here doing like last minute setup, and I didn't want to go home and come back. So I was like, oh, I'll just go to work. And I ended up getting to work like an hour and a half early. Like it was pretty, like, because I didn't technically start till like 6:30, and I got there a little bit after 5.
Okay.
And the bar was packed. It was like Brittany was working, and the funny thing about Brittany working was she was not supposed to be there. It was,
and they needed her though.
She picked up that shift. It was because it was supposed to be Phil, and he needed the day off, and Brittany goes, "I'll take it." So, which is even funnier about what
the randomness,
random everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything was set in stone for a reason.
It's like what happened in Cleveland. Like it's just all lining up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I get there and the bar is packed, and I'm like, "Hey, Britt, do you need me? Like, do you need some help? Like, I'll jump in. What do you need?" And she's like, "No, I got this. This is nothing. I'm good. And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I leave. Like, I walk out the door, and a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I want to hear about your London trip." And so I went over and like was walking him to his car in the employee garage, and then I get this text from Britt going, "Hey, Tierra says that you can clock in early." And I was like, "Oh, shit, you're gonna have to just drive me back to my car or to the valet or whatever, so I can get back to work."
Yeah.
And so I didn't see anything else. I was like, I gotta go back now. So I walked back in, and everybody had like sat back up. Like I had gone upstairs to the show because it was Kenan Thompson Presents, and so it was a huge thing, and it was packed.
And didn't he start really early too?
It starts at 5.
So it makes sense why.
Or 5. It's 5:30 to 6:30, or 5 to 6. 5:30. 5:30 to 6:30. Yeah.
6:30.
So
we got Gary in the back. Help us out.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks. Live audience. Hell yeah.
So I get back in. I walk back in about like 5:30ish. And I start walking towards Brittany, like, "Hey, like, what do you need?" And I just stop. And I'm like, and there's this guy sitting at the bar, and Brittany's laughing hysterically.
Oh, because she knows.
She's and I'm like,
I know that guy.
What? It's Trevor Pennick from O-Town, sitting at my bar.
And who is he waiting for, Jessica?
He literally came in and goes, "Hey, I was wondering," and Brittany, like, she was like, "Trevor, we got drunk together 5 years ago with Jessica. Remember this?" Like it was so funny. But she was like, he goes, "Is Jessica here?" And Britt's like, "Yes, Trevor." And he goes, "No, like Jessica Johns." And she goes, "I know who you are. I know who Jessica is. Clearly,
I know what's happening right
obviously."
now.
And she goes, Does she know you're here?"
And he's like, "No."
And he was like, No. And so she goes, "She's going to freak when she sees you."
I can only imagine your face. I'm picturing you behind the ber, you see him, you kind of go ghost white, and then you click into reality.
Pretty much what it is. that is literally how it went down.
Yeah. I can already picture
because what is Trevor doing here? Like,
yeah, and
I
honestly,
only see him once a year when we go see O-Town. Like, what is this man doing here?
And then to like, I don't know, it's just funny to just like, oh, I know where she works, I'm gonna go. Which is so awesome.
Okay, so I've been telling him to stay at the Link because I absolutely love the Link. Yeah. I love, like, I took him to the Link pool when we first met, and we played beer pong in the pool till it closed.
Yeah.
And so his room actually was like a view over the Link pool, and he was telling me. And so he was like, "Yeah, I was like looking out the window and I saw the pool, and I was trying to get my friends to go play beer pong because I remembered how much fun that you and I had when we did that." Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, they just wanted to be party poopers and like sleep or whatever." Yeah. And he's like, "I ain't got time for that."
Yeah.
So he was staying at the Link, and so he was like walking down the Link promenade, and he goes, "Oh, there's Jimmy Kimmel's."
And I know that place.
I was like,
I've heard of that place before.
I go,
once, twice.
"You remembered where I work?" No. He goes, "I'm not an asshole." And I was like,
which I just gotta say, isn't that telling? It's just so like, it's like, wow, that's a basic trait out of some people.
You know what though?
Nice
It's so
to
funny
know.
because I forget that like he actually like follows my Instagram, right? So
Yeah.
he came back. So he came back with his friends later on, and
Yeah.
one of his friends is a huge Swiftie, and,
Oh, that's
and
so
it's
funny.
a guy, right? And his wife like
Really?
hates Taylor, but he loves Taylor, and it's so funny. But anyway, so
Okay.
then Trevor's like, yeah, just went to London to go see her, and she did this and this and this, and I was like, oh, you really do see what I'm doing all the time. Okay.
I mean, I think it's just so sweet because it just shows how much they put into their fan base.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to finally have some of that, especially when you hear stories in Vegas of like, Frank Sinatra, Wayne Newton, Dean Martin, all the classic people coming up and making sure everyone's okay and gets their phone. I mean, even Liberace would like walk in places and make sure everyone was greeted, everyone was welcomed, and everyone. And to me, it's just nice to see that fan base come back, or like that appreciation.
I mean, I also were friends. So
yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, you started off as a fan, and he cared enough.
You know what?
to
You know what was
continue.
hilarious? I probably shouldn't say this, but it was so funny. I was running around work all day Friday, going, my husband came to visit. And everyone's like, I didn't know that you were married. And I'm like, I'm not. But I've been calling this man my husband since I was 13.
But since we're manifesting
Since
everything, might as well.
Since literally I was 13, so I've been saying, it's something I say. So anyway, Trevor leaves, and he kept saying like, I'll be back. And he went and met with his friends at Tilted Kill. And Brittany was like, she had to go upstairs. What a great wing woman. She was like, because I was supposed to go upstairs and serve as well.
Yeah.
And Britt's like, you know what? I got you. You just hang down here. I'll go upstairs.
Aw,
Like,
that's sweet of
what
her.
a friend.
But yeah, she knows. She knows.
Yeah. So then she's like, did he come back? Because I want to say bye. And I was like, nah, I haven't seen him. And then he finally showed back up at like 11:15 ish, 11:20. And Tiara over here, who's literally a saint, made sure that I got out
on time. She's
time.
like, I know this. Another amazing wing woman.
Yes.
Everyone, Brittany, Tiara, everyone is working together to make a magical time happen.
Yeah. So then
you did it.
Yes,
It worked.
Yes. MVPs. So then I was like, let's go to Carnival Court, because that is the first place I took him.
Oh, yeah.
Like 5 years ago when we first met. And the Droids were playing.
Oh, great band.
Fine. Perfect band. Dude, it was so funny because Trevor goes, the last time I was here, Silver Stage was playing. And I was like, do you remember that?
I mean, that's kind of sweet, though. Maybe he was like, I really like this
They're
band.
not even a band anymore.
Oh, dang, I forgot.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Yeah, I know. That's why I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because me and Trevor and his friends walk in, and his friends go to the blackjack table. Trevor and I go to the dance floor. And Terry Warren, who's singing lead and playing drums, sees me and Trevor walk in, and he just immediately bursts into laughter.
That's funny.
Because he was like, of course you bring O-Town into this bar. And I'm like, well, yeah,
I think it's funny that he recognized him, because I don't know if I would necessarily recognize him if I wasn't obviously a fan. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny that it's like, oh, maybe they were making music around the same time too. So you know what I mean? So they had to deal with the O-Town boys over there.
So it was cool. It was like Dave Madelon and Joe Bonassorte and something. And they were like, okay, so they finished whatever song they were doing. I can't remember because I'm pretty sure I blacked out. And so they go.
I'm so happy right now. No memories.
Basically after so then they finish their song, and Terry goes, okay, well, we're taking requests, but it's only whatever Jessica wants to hear.
That's so funny. And what did you request? I know one.
So I was like, you guys know? And they're like, okay, just tell us. And I was like, Creep. And then Trevor goes, do you want Radiohead or TLC? And then right after Trevor said that, Terry goes, do you want Radiohead or TLC? And I was like, when have I ever asked for TLC?
I mean, Yeah, Jessica loves TLC.
I mean, I do, but I'm not gonna ask a rock band to sing like So Creep.
Yeah, but like I feel like also you'd rather your Creep
by Radiohead. Like I love that song because I did a whole thing with Roxy Gunn and Crown Avenue and the Droids, and it was a whole competition and it was a whole thing. So then when they were done, Terry comes up and he was like, "Man, I really wanted to get Trevor on stage," and I was like, "He totally would have done it too." Like,
especially if he.
I don't want to assume that, but I'm pretty sure he would have. And then Terry goes over and talks to Trevor, and Trevor's like, "Dude, I think it's so cool that you were like singing lead and playing drums." And he's like, "Oh,
that must be a weird combination."
Yeah,
Phil Collins. Oh my goodness,
it was really cool. And then Terry's like, "Man, Trev, I wish I would have gotten you up on stage, but I wanted to ask first." And Trev's like, "Yeah, I totally would have done it." And I was like, "I told you!" Like, he totally would have
eaten that.
You get that man up on stage and you let him sing his solo song, Sin City, and he would have been. That was it.
This is what I picture also, because Carnival Court is generally an older audience.
Yeah.
But like, I can just see the women in their like. Listen, I don't want to make fun of anybody. I'm not Mike Hammer. So
I'm not Mike Hammer.
But anyways, it's just funny to see like the ladies would have loved it, and they would have gone out there, and then all the guys from the conventions with their little tags on would have come out and danced with the ladies. I would have eaten it up as like a people watcher.
He told me that O-Town's lucky to get one show a year in Vegas, and I was like, what if they did Carnival Court one year?
You know what?
That would be so sick.
But you know what? Also, I feel like Carnival Court
would
do
camp
this.
Out, though.
Carnival Court would be one of those like.
I'd actually buy a VIP table so I could have a table.
Right? I think they would not be on board with that at all. Because if they could bring in small artists and get an audience, they would be doing it by now. And from the history we know of how they book and stuff.
Yeah.
They're very like, this is the money we want, and I know we're going to get the money. I'm not going to try anything else. So that's why
Remember that one time they booked
downtown is like on Fremont Street the way they did it last time.
But how can they just why can't they just do Downtown Rocks every year?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with Downtown Rocks is only during the summer.
Yeah.
So it's a limited time, and that has to work with everything else.
They're touring all through November.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it has to work with everything else.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, Green Valley Ranch was a perfect location.
That was a great spot. And the one
there's plenty of people there.
So funny. I told him, I was like, dude, the one time they let you sing Sin City, we were in Henderson. He's like, sing this rap song about Vegas, and
you know what?
We're in Henderson.
I'm also gonna say something controversial, but like Green Valley and Sunset Station, like even South Point, I feel like would draw a great crowd.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And it would be great, and we don't have to pay for parking.
So whoever's in charge of booking the Pop 2K tour,
give us a call.
We're talking to you. Talking to you.
Listen, yeah. So that's so much fun.
So speaking of Carnival Court,
damn, Jessica went back to Carnival Court a lot this week.
Lisa, the cocktail waitress, saw me twice this weekend.
And she was like, "What
she
are you
hasn't seen me
doing
in years?" And she's like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "I know, right?"
It's a random Monday.
But this is what happened. So I worked like 1:30 to 10:30 yesterday. And Sandy Knights was singing at Favorite Bistro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She was done at 10.
Damn.
I was done at 10:30. She ordered dinner for both of us.
Oh.
And then when I got off work, I just walked over and had dinner with her.
Oh.
And then she put her stuff in her car in valet. And then she's like, because we were going to go to like Wahoo's or like something like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what we haven't done in a really long time? Like, let's just go troll around the strip and like just see like what we can.
And you know what was really funny is you took a video with Sandy with a middle-aged woman that I was just kind of speaking about.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Well, that came later. So this is what we did, right? So we were like, okay, let's go find any bartenders that we happen to be friends with. Like,
yeah.
Like it's Sunday night? No, Mondays. My days are all mixed up. So like, it's Monday night. Who's working?
Yeah.
And so we walked through O'Shea's, didn't see anybody, and then we were like, okay, well, who's working Catalyst Bar? Nobody. So then we're like, all right. And then we walk past Carnival and we see Spandex Nation and we're like, eh. And then we saw maybe a couple bartenders, so we were like, okay, you know, that's always a safe bet.
Yeah.
But let's go see.
Yeah.
Like, let's go like elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right. So we go to like the Center Bar and like the new Center Bar. And by the way, Carlos Mencia was hanging out over there. And that was, that shit was funny.
That is so funny. It's like, hey,
I was like,
I'm telling you, we're gonna become best friends. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we have a lot of connections now.
yeah,
you better be ready.
We'll see you on Sundays and the occasional
And I'm
Tuesday.
gonna get my pretzel, and I might get my hamburger. And I'm gonna sit here like a happy little camper and just giggle at everyone.
Yeah,
that's the
it's
goal.
Gonna be a good
giggle
time.
at everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
I love karaoke for that reason. But anyways, continue with Sandy.
Okay, so then we're like, okay, we said hi, and then we were like, okay, who's working in the sports book at Harrah's? And we're like, oh, nobody. So then we're like, okay, who's working at this other, like the Gordon Ramsay kitchen? Because JJ, who used to work at Toby Keith's, is over there now.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's go see if she's there. Nope, that place is, they close at 10. It's midnight. So then we're like, oh, you know what? Leo works at the piano bar. Let's go see him at the piano bar.
Yeah.
Except Leo wasn't there. And we're like, oh, we don't want to do that. And then we're like, you know what? Let's just go to Casino Royale and just have a crazy adventure. And so we were like heading that way. And then we're like, no, you know what? Let's go to Walk-Ons and see who's still working at Walk-Ons.
Where's that?
That's where Toby Keith's is.
Oh.
Go upstairs, Walk-Ons is closed because they closed for Labor Day. We're like, oh, Jesus. So then we're like,
you closed for Labor Day in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I know. That's what we said. So then we're like, okay, well, let's just go to Casino Royale. So then we start going to Casino Royale, and then Sandy goes, you know what? Let's just go to Carnival Court. And I was like,
this is the safe bet.
That's fine. That's fine.
For shenanigans.
So then we get there, and it's Gordy.
Okay.
And Steve Pacheco.
Oh.
And Steve Pacheco is currently not only at Carnival Court, but he is the official Flair bartender for the Party Animals.
Stop it.
Which is the rival team of the Savannah Bananas.
So that means we have tickets. Is that what you're telling me, Jessica?
I don't have.
Josh is excited. Josh is like, you get a cocktail for that one.
Oh my God!
So are we.
Savannah Bananas fans.
We got
We are on that waiting list, man. We are on that waiting list.
We have a beer koozie.
Yeah. No. Last year for our birthdays, I got us matching jerseys. Like we are all about Savannah Bananas, right? So I didn't get tickets, but he gave me stickers.
You know what? I want it. And it's so funny because
they're Party Animal stickers.
Isn't it funny how the Party Animals we were like, oh, Savannah Bananas, and then the Party Animals came out and they had the flamingos. And we're like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Well, you know, like the Party Animals, okay, like I still am like loyal to the Savannah Bananas because I love Jackson Olsen. But also, I don't know Jackson Olsen. I know Steve Pacheco.
If I'm going to choose a side, and I'm choosing
a side. So
if I need to replace my Savannah Bananas logos with little
I gotta do it. Like, I'll get us Party Animal jerseys for Christmas this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, we order our drinks, and so Sandy started ordering. She ordered a green tea shot, but as a cocktail, right? And okay, never get a bar back to do a bartender's job. And I'm gonna sound that's really controversial, and I'm sorry, Darren. But like, this is what happened. So Carnival, you know how a lot of those bartenders are all at Circa.
Well, also they pour very heavily.
Well, they're all at Circa, and so it's all new people. So we were lucky to see Gordy and Pacheco.
Gotcha.
And Darren's on day shift, so I don't really. So we order our drinks. I get a Crown and Coke, and she gets her drink, and it is made completely wrong. And then he gives it to her in like a tall glass with no ice in it.
Ew.
And then I had a Crown and Coke, but there was hardly any ice in it, and it wasn't even filled all the way.
Oh.
And I was like, what is this? And so Sandy goes, Jessica, try my drink. I'm like, this is incorrect. And so
how bad was it?
It tasted like syrup.
Like maple syrup? Or just like
sour mix. Oh, like that's all it was. Oh. And so then and it was like whatever new bar back they got or whatever. So then we get Steve's attention, and he comes over and we're like, can you just please remake this. Like, I don't want to sound like
an
I don't want to be that
asshole.
person.
Yeah,
but
this is not
remake
drinkable.
this. This is not. And
Yeah.
so he made it, and it was the most refreshing cocktail. And I'm like, oh my god, now I gotta order this. Like, Sandy's onto something. Like, maybe I should just start ordering this.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. And then, so Valet, the link closes at 1. So we only had till like 1. But the entire time we're sitting there, like, Spandex Nation's on stage, and we're like, who are they? Like,
it's so funny you say that, because Nathan and I dragged Nathan to Circa because at the time he was detailing the barbecue place out front that they have, the food truck out there. So I was like, oh, let's go see it. Let's do all this stuff. And so we were listening to Spandex Nation because honestly, that is like so up Nathan's alley. 80s and like funny, being silly and doing all this stuff. So we watched them, and then I followed them and tagged them and everything. And it's just funny that you ran into them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We were like, who are they? Like, outside of like their, and then so then we get on their Instagram. Like, Sandy's like, well, check their Instagram. Because nothing. Go to their YouTube channel. Nothing.
Really?
Go to their website. Nothing. Like, not a meet the band. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like a Blue Man Group situation, like where they could just.
I will say, when I looked into it, they only talked about the lead singer, so he might have a lot of people fill in for him.
Probably.
I will say, the guitar player that we watched on Fremont was one of the best guitar players I have seen on Fremont.
But you don't know who he is.
Not anymore. I mean, this was years. I mean, before.
Yeah, but we still don't know who.
So that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, this Spandex Nation, I mean, like, I don't know. They seemed like a great band. They were a lot of fun to watch. Were they fun to watch?
They were a lot of fun. Like, everybody was partying,
dancing.
Everybody, and
I gotta get the story of this lady.
Pacheco poured us some shots, and then we did our little, I did my little, apparently this is why people think I drink a lot post, but I did the Sandy Nights edition. I literally had like my drinks in like one hand, like sitting there, and we're just like, yes, this is why we drink a lot, guys. We're at the CC. So it was, I don't even know anymore. And so then, like, we did our shots, and then like the band finished their set, and we saw Steve like pouring shots and like letting people like, you know, pour their own like.
Oh yeah, because Carnival Court was like a row of 6 of them, and then they give you the tins, and they show people how to do it, and they feel really special, and you know.
Yeah, they did it for me for my birthday a few years ago, and I was like, I know how to do this. Hey guys,
I can't mix a cocktail to save my life, but I do know how to pour a bunch of shots.
Yeah, well,
thanks to Carnival Court.
But like, I was like, you guys know I do this for a living, right? Like, it's not special to me.
Funny. I think they make you do it because they know that you're going to interact. Not only do it correctly, make it look easy, but also makes them look really good because it's like, look, we just taught this random stranger how to pour a cocktail.
Yeah.
You can do it at home.
Exactly.
You can toss this bottle in the air and catch it. Good luck. Hope it's not expensive.
Oh.
Not my problem.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah, exactly.
So then the band finishes and they get a DJ, and like, oh my god, I have to tell you that like when the band finished, no, they had like the blackjack tables were closed, okay? So the band finished and everybody clears out. They get a DJ, and the DJ is really pulling teeth. Like, he's really trying.
Well, okay, also.
No, I mean, this man was literally like, if you guys want to have a good time, just come into Carnival Court or don't, or like that kind of shit. Like, he was like, or get you some drinks, like, make this better or whatever. And I'm like.
All I picture is Usher going,
yeah. Come on, guys, come on in. It's gonna be good. I don't care.
That's basically
whatever, guys.
That's probably more true. But it was
whatever.
So then all of a sudden we hear, feel the rain on your skin.
Interesting song to play Carnival Court.
I know, right? And so Sandy and I were sitting there going, white girl, and then I go, wait, hold on, and I get up and I start doing this silly dance.
Yeah.
And then I was
a very drunk, intoxicated, middle-aged woman came up to you
and
wanted to dance. That's why I was like,
I was literally totally kidding, because I was literally just like
doing this.
You know how sometimes I like run up on people and just kind of go like this, or
remember when we used to just do the up and down?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or we would just go up and down to the music.
Yeah. So I really was like, okay, let me do this for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Just be silly. And then all of a sudden, this lady runs up and she starts dancing on me.
Listen,
and
this is such a Carnival Court moment for me. This is why I love this place.
This is quintessential Carnival Court
I don't know what
behavior.
happens. I don't know what happens, but a middle-aged woman will walk into that place and something in her brain chemically alters. And she's like, I gotta dance. I gotta dance. And I'm gonna dance my little heart out. And
I'm gonna run up on strangers.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up to strangers. I'm gonna go and like try to make out with somebody on stage and then fall over and be fine. And then I'm gonna try to like drop it low and fall over again while I'm doing the splits. And
I feel so called out by what you just described.
Do you feel called out, or should the middle-aged women feel called out? You're not doing.
Not currently.
Well, that's okay.
No.
Anyways,
it was so funny.
It's just so funny what happens in that place.
Oh yeah.
And like convention people that are here for conventions. Oh my God, their brain melts. It's so much fun.
We laugh about Carnival all the time because we haven't been in years. We really haven't. Like, I mean,
not for like a long time. I've only gone in for a drink.
Yeah, the last time I spent like a couple of hours or almost a whole night at Carnival was like when Trevor was here and I took him to see Silver Sage.
Yeah.
But like I kind of pop in and say hey, like usually like if the droids are playing, I'll walk in, say hey, wave, love you guys, just popping in, and then I leave.
Yeah.
Like I don't really spend a lot of time there anymore because I'm always elsewhere. Like Old Red's been kind of fun lately.
Honestly,
and Gillies has been fun lately.
I feel like for us in general, like where we're at is we want to experience new things.
Yeah.
It's not so much, and especially for me, it's like the last thing I want to do is something we do every single time, the one time I get out of the house.
Yeah.
I want to go out and do something fun, like something different, explore new things. If we go back, that'll be fun too. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things. But it's also, I feel like before COVID, you could have a routine, but now since everything has changed so much, I mean, things have closed, things have opened, things have closed again.
It's crazy because you can always trust Carnival Court to be the same thing.
Honestly,
It's
always
like walking into Sand Dollar. You walk into Sand Dollar, and like I went into Sand Dollar one time, and I hadn't been in over a year. Yeah. And it was the same people doing the same things. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. So Carnival Court is the same way. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, I gotta say though, to watch the barflies at Carnival Court now, knowing that I used to be a barfly at Carnival Court and watching them now, I'm like, wow, I'm grown up, guys. Like, I am a different person. And that's why it doesn't fit for us anymore.
We are very grown up. Yeah, that's why.
I mean, it's so funny because it's the same thing, different day. It's comfortability. It's being at home. It's like going back to your parents' house after you left college.
Yeah, it's fun to go back and visit every once in a while, but I wouldn't live there.
Yeah.
We love our friends.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Flippy.
Yeah.
Because I went Friday and I went and said hi to Flippy and I was like, dude, I saw you went to Arlington Cemetery.
Yeah.
And he was like, I saw you went to London. And I'm like,
the world travelers. I mean, even Sandy, she arrived in London the day you left.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why we hung out last night. We had to compare notes. She had a lot of the same notes that I did.
That is so funny.
I was like, I was expecting to go to London, and because mixology is a passion of mine. And actually, one of my guests yesterday, they came in for one drink and stayed for 4 hours because they let me play Bad Scientist all night. And but they were like, it's the passion behind the pour. And I was like, why is this not a book? Like, I should because I joke that if I ever wrote a book, which I'm actually in the middle of writing all my cocktails, and I at first called it like the manuscript cocktail edition, but then I'm like, I was like, some of these cocktails have literally kept me up at night, literally kept me up all night long.
Yeah.
And so it was more like the way that Taylor described Midnights. And how she's like my 13 sleepless nights. Like this whole album is about my 13 sleepless nights.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's literally me writing cocktails. These are my 13 sleepless nights of freaking cocktails. And so I really want to like level up or like elevate my skills. And so I was like, yeah, I'll probably learn more like watching the bartenders in another country. And
not a country that likes beer.
So I was talking to Sandy.
Yeah.
And I said, that's what I said. I said, I expected to like learn more about liquors and cocktails and this and that. And she goes, no, they freak out if you order anything other than beer.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's the same.
what
That's literally what happened to us. Like, if you don't order an Aperol Spritz or a Hugo Spritz or a Guinness, they lose their minds.
Well, and honestly, I mean, it's just so funny because they're beer drinkers. I mean, that's what they are, and I'm not surprised. Okay, am I surprised that London bartenders in the middle of the hub of London were tourists, very big
Camden Market?
I mean, when I say like tourism, we're talking Vegas level tourism in this country, in that area. To say I'm surprised they don't know how to like make some basic ass cocktails is kind of wild.
I mean, they had like their own. I wasn't just making stuff up off my head.
You ordered off the menu.
I literally ordered off their menu.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of wild. I guess that's where you get me.
I ordered a ginger mojito. And
I don't know if that's good.
In the time that it took them to make it, Sarah came in from outside, went upstairs to their restroom, which was on the very back. The best I can describe it is like where the service well is in the upstairs at Jimmy Kimmel's. Like that's how far away it was, right?
So we're talking upstairs, down
so she walked all the way upstairs, goes to the restroom, comes downstairs, goes outside, hits a jewelry counter at one of the booths for Camden Market, comes back in, and they're still making my cocktail.
Were they busy?
No. And so they like muddled like 3 or 4 mint leaves with some fresh ginger.
Okay.
And then
ginger is powerful.
Thank you.
It's powerful.
So by the time,
so is this cough medicine like natural cough medicine?
So by the time they poured the ginger beer on top, they subbed out this club soda for ginger beer. The ginger beer overpowered the mint, and it just tasted like ginger beer. Like that's all that was. I was like, this. You guys spent 15 minutes. I timed them. They spent 15 minutes making this one drink.
They were looking up how to make a mojito.
And then Crystal,
in the back.
And then they had a Long Island iced tea on the menu, and Crystal ordered it, and they made it so wrong. And like, I don't know how you mess it up, but it was wrong. And they asked, and it took so long for them to make it. And then they go, hold on, before I serve it to you, let me take a picture of it. And Crystal goes, no, because this is not correct. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Listen, you took way too long to make this. So you know how? So you put all the liquors in it, then you put the sour in it, then you top it with Coke.
Yeah.
No, they put the liquors and then they filled it up with Coke and then put the sour on top. It was awful.
I bet it didn't taste good.
Long Island iced teas are trash drinks anyway.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, if you're chugging down a Long Island, listen, I love Crystal. I'm judging you a little bit. The Long Island iced tea.
But it's on the menu. Like, there was very, what I did learn, though, I did learn one thing. They made hibiscus margaritas, and they had, like, a black peppercorn rim.
Ooh.
That was amazing. And so now I know to make hibiscus margaritas with a black peppercorn rim, and I will absolutely do that.
Well, and I also got to say, so, like, quick question. I mean, now that we're on the topic of it, how much were the cocktails in London? Speaking of like a very popular touristy town with the exchange rate.
It's like 9 pounds. So it's like what, like $12?
Really?
US dollars.
That's like where the popular place. Listen, I found out that we're one of the most expensive tourist destinations, and especially when I was watching the U.S. Open, like I was watching like some of the things from the U.S. Open, and they were saying cocktails were only $23. It's like it was $30 to drink at Carnival Court.
It was $30 a drink at the Link Pool for my birthday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's $30, $40 for one cocktail. I can go to the U.S. Open and buy a cocktail for cheaper than Carnival Court.
I had a little birthday party at the pool, at the Link Pool, and DJ So Hype from Comedy and Cocktails showed up. And he got like he ordered us a pitcher, and that pitcher was $90.
That is insane.
Crazy.
Like, what are you supposed to do with that? I don't even understand. Like, I have a friend whose husband came out here, and her husband made up this really elaborate story. But I think what happened, because he's like, no, man, babe, I spent $300. But I think what happened was he went out drinking on the strip and just bought like 10 drinks.
Yeah.
Because that equals $300. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, it was just insane.
I think that like the people are obviously going to pay it because you're in Vegas, but I feel like it takes away from the experience.
Well,
Now, like when you go to places like Mayfair,
yeah.
like you're paying for the fact that they put you where like the Bellagio fountain.
Yeah, you're on the fountain.
and
you have
like,
a
you have like a
show.
cirque show happening around you. Like, yes, I'll gladly pay $120 for that prefix menu.
But that was a meal.
Yeah.
I'm getting one drink,
Yeah.
$10 more expensive at Carnival Court than I even am at Mayfair, and all
Man,
I'm getting is some flair and
we
an
went to the Aces
band.
game and drank a lot, and it cost us way less to drink at T-Mobile than it would have at Carnival Court.
When I went to Allegiant Stadium, the same thing. I think a glass of wine was only like $12, which once again, we're in a stadium.
Right.
The fact that I could buy food and drinks and it still be cheaper than Carnival, like, it's just too much. I mean, it's really Caesar's properties if we're really gonna dive in. It's not an isolated event. But it is interesting to see how crazy Vegas is getting.
Right.
You know, and I feel like it's like, where's the cap gonna be? But once again, Fremont Street.
We gotta bring it
cheaper.
back. I mean, they had like a really good $9.99 like steak and eggs at Ellis Island.
How much?
At Village Pub,
Yeah.
And now it's like $15.
Yeah, but honestly, that's still cheap for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, it's even the Rainbow on Water Street. They had to raise their. They have a breakfast special that used to be like $6,
Right.
and now it's like $10 or $12. But I'm like, that's still really cheap for compared to everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a great deal, but yeah, no, the prices of alcohol is outrageous right now.
I mean, yeah. And well,
But
you
there's
know what's
places
so
to
funny?
get
It was so
cheap
funny
alcohol.
because Friday night I got a drink at Carnival and it cost me $20.98.
That's not bad.
And
it's
and
gone
it's
down.
sad that we have to sit there and go, that's not bad. And I was like, oh, that's Flippy giving me a deal. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then when Sandy and I went back and I paid because she bought dinner, so I got our drinks. And it was funny because, like, again, the bar back made our drinks and he rang it in, and my bill was $41. And I was like, oh, so Flippy wasn't just treating me all special. Like, this is their thing now.
I wonder what made them change. I wonder if they realized they weren't getting anybody to order more than one drink.
Yeah, no.
Because I say this with like the Boy Scouts too. They sell their popcorn, it's $30 a bag. I would spend more money buying different varieties of popcorn than just one bag of popcorn. For
Yeah, I would probably go to Carnival, like, nurse my drink for an entire set, and then I would move on.
Yeah, and where before we would have 15 drinks. In
Dude,
one
do you
set.
remember? I remember when we went to Carnival Court and our drinks were like, I'd get a Crown and Coke and it was like $11.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, and now it's like 30.
Oh my goodness.
Like, it's getting out of hand.
I think, and honestly, but that's why we've been on Fremont so much, and that's why we've been downtown, because downtown, for the price of both of our drinks, and I'll get like a tall can and everything, it's cheaper than to drink at Carnival Court.
So Christina Balamek and I are going to the pool tomorrow.
Ooh, which one?
Circa.
Oh.
And this is why. Even though it's $25 to get in,
That's not bad.
no, because it's freaking Circa.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cheaper. Like, okay, I could go to the link pool for free, but
You have a
unless I go on a
$90
day where
picture.
Ryan is working,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get 2 drinks and it's gonna be like $60.
Yeah.
Whereas I could price of admission plus a couple of drinks at Circa. Like, I could probably get 2 drinks for the price of like
One
two,
and a half.
one, like,
Yeah.
1.5, or like I could probably get like, no, because but it's still having
Overall, you spend less money.
But here's the thing: is but also Circa. The
Yeah, you get the-
experience of the
exactly.
Circa.
Exactly.
So that's a experience versus like you're just at the link pool. And I love the link
Yeah.
pool. It's near and dear to my heart. We have a great time. We went
Yeah.
for my birthday. We played beer pong in the pool till we closed.
Yeah.
Or till the pool closed. And then that was it. Like, but as far as Circa,
Well, and I think a lot of it too is because we know we're going to spend a certain amount of money, or we're going to spend some income. There's going to be a level of, what do I want to spend this money on? Something I do every single week, or something new.
right. So the Circa pool, like that's all like experience.
Just because Mike died.
Just because Mike died.
I was coming back.
So it's all about it's all about the experience, right?
Yeah.
Because the Circa pool has like all the pools, and they have like a swim up bar, and you got like sports on, like you go watch football, and like, you know, and it's a whole thing. So it's a matter of like, you're paying for the experience versus you're just there.
Yeah.
And it's also impossible. Like, you have to get to the link at a certain time in the mornings now, because they get so busy that it's almost impossible to find chairs. And then also the sun goes away at like 2:00.
Yeah, I will say, so Mallory and Uncle Davy Dave, they went and celebrated their birthday at the link, and they had a really great time. It was really affordable, but I gotta say, the link is a great place to like do a staycation if you don't plan on staying in your room.
Dude, I want to do the cabana room.
Honestly,
So badly.
So I
So
go
badly
back
wanted
and
the cabana
forth with
room.
it because Taylor Swift is on the TV. Wow, ADHD.
Oh, they were re-airing the Super Bowl, and I was like, that's my girl.
The ADHD is real, guys. Anyways, but yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, if I was to do a staycation, I don't know. It's hard to say because, like I said, if I know I'm going to spend $100, would I rather have a new experience or one that I know? I mean, I guess
I'd
it
probably
depends.
well, it's
Because like
tough
I would buy a
because-
show ticket
well,
again.
because listen, if you're staying at the link pool, right? Then if you're staying at the link, and you get the
Yeah.
cabana room, right? And then you can just go in and out. And have like you could literally bring your own liquor into your room, and then you just pour yourself. You just go to the bar, get yourself a link cup, and then just go back in, pour yourself a drink, come back out, or just go get drunk in your own room and then come back out to the pool, right? So there's that.
You
Or-
opened so many opportunities for me in the sense of the cannabis world too.
Or then you
run into my room.
Or you just stay at Circa, and then you have your free entry into the Circa pool.
And do
So
I
it's,
if I were to choose and it's so funny because when people are like, "Oh, what would you do for Vegas now?" and my baby cousin's about to turn 21 next year, so I'm already like planning her 21st birthday, here in town. But I kind of like, okay, if you're gonna stay on the strip, and you want to do a 21 and over thing, you gotta like skip Caesars and Bellagio. You gotta stay at Link. You gotta stay at like that side of the strip. You don't want to stay on the other side of the strip because it's more kid friendly. And then, but if honestly, I'm gonna recommend downtown every single time.
yeah.
For that
at this
reason.
point, I'm like, just go to Circa.
Yeah.
I mean,
And like even if you wanted to bar hop downtown, you're still gonna get more out of your money.
and go see Mike Hammer.
And go see my camera and be made fun of to the point you cry. Because I'm not gonna lie, if he made fun of me the way he made fun of those ladies, I'd cry.
Dude, I feel like
I'm old, I know.
Dude, that night was so fun. I feel like he was.
fun.
I want to say that he was in rare form, but that's just who he is all the time.
I believe that. He felt very comfortable making fun of people.
There was a few times where I just like looked at him like, oh,
Damn, that was spicy.
There's a reason why I go see him every year for my birthday at some point, like my birthday or Crystal's birthday. Like it's it's tradition.
No, it's a lot of fun. He's great. Obviously, go see Mike Hammer again. But yeah, I mean, geez, I mean, we have so much coming up that it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we have so many new things, so many new adventures. I'm so excited for us.
Yeah. Again, all like
What is happening right now? What
look
is
at
this?
We have our own logo. Like we're official now.
What is happening
We're
right
like
now?
we have like we get this merch going. Like now we have
Listen, we're gonna
do you
be
have any? I
superstars.
don't like. Listen, Damien. It's taken us about
I know, the boss
7
man's
years to get a real
Listen, the boss man's here. We got to be really good. Okay, stand
Okay.
up straight.
All right. Okay.
Fix your hair.
Yeah. No.
Fix your
okay,
hair.
good, yeah, okay.
Let us have a second show. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but no, I mean, this is crazy.
like we were saying, Composer's Room has so many shows.
Yeah.
So many shows with
There's
so many people.
so much going on here all the time, constantly.
Every time I look at the website, I'm like, oh, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta buy a babysitter.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we're gonna do this.
We have somebody's got to watch Vegas Baby, so Callie can come to karaoke with Carlos Mencia and David Nickel. Oh man, love you, buddy. We love you.
Listen,
we do. We love you.
But yeah, I mean, but if you guys want to see any shows at the Composer Room, please go to thecomposerroom.com. They have their full list. They have the tavern stage. They got a big stage back there. They always have people. I want to see Tony Arias.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, Tony Arias. We saw Tony Arias for the first time at Reckless in Vegas.
And I knew that man needed to be on the show immediately.
I
said,
absolutely, we need Tony Arias. Like, he was so funny he just took over. He took over the Reckless in Vegas stage for like 10 minutes that he was there.
And you could tell that, like, it was a little bit of a routine, but it's so refined.
Yeah.
That it's so amazing that I'm like, damn, this guy's good.
He's almost like he kind of reminded me a little bit of like a Rodney Dangerfield.
Yes.
That's
just in your face with a thick accent and just, making you giggle.
Yeah.
That man, I was cackling. I was like, how do I meet him? How do I get him on the show?
Yeah.
And then now we're here.
And now we're here.
I'm telling you, manifestation.
The manifestation is crazy. Can't wait to have Tony Arias, and you never know who you're gonna see.
You never know.
We have some big plans for Vegas Madness this year, and stay tuned. We're gonna be, if you see us around town, you better put your A game on, because you may or may not end up on our list.
Listen, we love a good time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of easy for us to have a good time.
Oh yeah.
Because we're ready for a good time.
We're ready. We're ready for it.
We're so excited. We want to thank the Composer's Room for having us. This is amazing. This is a dream come true.
Do you see our logo?
Yeah, our logo? Oh my God. We're so special.
A little bit
We're
real.
like a real hobby. Oh my goodness gracious. What are we going to do?
I don't know, Calithia.
Oh goodness.
Oh goodness.
But yes, that was our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Thank you all for
Thank you, Josh, for the cocktails.
Thank you.
Thank you, bud. They're real good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Instagram is Reality Check Las Vegas. And
Facebook's Reality Check Las Vegas. TikTok is Reality Check Las Vegas. Everything
YouTube.
is Reality Check. YouTube, literally everything is Reality Check Las Vegas. Spotify, everything.
Yeah.
So just go look for us there, and we will also be here on Tuesdays.
Come and join us.
Yay!
Yay! Bye.
Bye.